I apologize, but I'm in kind of a good mood tonight, which is not usually my style. But I recently moved in with my significant other. I live with my boyfriend, not that I need to specify because you guys can hear my voice. And it's going great. It's the best. If you've never lived with your boyfriend before, let me tell you, it's awesome because number one, cable. You can afford cable. And number two, because assuming this goes perfectly, I will never have to date again, which is a huge thing for me because if I weren't blinded by these two lights right here and a safe 10 feet away from all you guys, this would be going horribly. I can't walk into a room with other people and have it go all right. Ask these guys what my arrival was like. It was like 2 trips to the bathroom, ordering a drink from someone who's not a waiter, and just totally sweating. So now I live with my boyfriend and I don't have to date ever again, which is the best because I was horrible at dating and I did the whole thing online. I just would wait until it was very late at night, go online, just sort of do it Fresh Direct style. Do you guys have Fresh Direct? To the point, no fucking around. And online dating now, post You've Got Mail, which is a great movie, is a totally normal thing to do. I feel like everyone dates online a little bit, at least. It's safe. Well, okay. It's safe insofar as you're not going to go out on a date with someone who, cuts your penis off and then that's what's for dinner or whatever. That's very 90s. That doesn't happen anymore. And if it does, you really hear about it. I guess what's dangerous about dating online now is it's a horrible way to get to know yourself. Right away, I learned that, as they say, I like my men the way I like my coffee. Disgusting. Very weak and bitter and cold. Not sweet at all. Just very gritty on the bottom, if you know coffee like that. It's also dangerous because you walk into social situations, just about to spend a ton of time with someone and all you know about them is what they've been willing to publish about themselves online, which I think we can all agree is never true. If you pulled out your phone right now and looked me up on Facebook, it probably says that I like a couple books, but you guys. I don't like any books at all. Fucking PR, that is PR. And if you have no self-esteem like me, you take everyone else's profile just at face value, that it is an absolute truth, and you think you're the only one lying. And I remember I used to get so psyched out before dates. I remember there was this one first date I was going on with a guy who I'd met through J-Bait. Holy shit. They do gay. And it's the worst of the gay. And I remember I was at home, getting ready, just sort of, spiraling. And I was like, oh shit, I should, seem like I'm already super into him, which is a crazy strategy. So while I was getting dressed, I decided I would, study his profile. And I just started getting really psyched out because his profile said he only liked 4 movies and they were the best movies. And I was like, oh God, he's gonna think I'm so stupid because everything reminds me of 13 going on 30 and I just know it's gonna come up. And his pictures were very flattering. He looked great. And I was like, oh God, this guy is totally out of my league. I'm gonna show up to the date and he's gonna barf, and then I'm gonna be sorry, and then go home, I guess. I was just fucking going crazy. And I was starting to run late, which I never do. I'm never late. Don't ask Scott if I was on time to the show, but I'm never late. And I was just getting nervous, and I was like putting on bigger and bigger shirts, just being like, it was like horrible. And then I was like, I will not be late, so I just put on the biggest shirt that I had, and I was like, God damn it, like, get a hold of yourself, Gabe, like, go on a diet, and then no one will ever be out of your league again. So I was like, that's fucking genius. So I like march out the door, all confident on my new diet, just feeling tiny, teeny tiny. And I get on the subway, and I'm going to dinner, and I realize, like, oh my God, I have to, like, eat so healthy at dinner to be skinny by the end of dinner for sex or whatever, you know? So I was just crunching numbers, and I get to the restaurant, and it's this great place in the East Village in New York. It's called Mama's, and it's, like, great soul food, totally delicious. Great place to choose, you know, for a date, but a really bad place to, like, start a diet. But I had promised the Lord on J-Date or whatever, and I was sticking to it, and he kind of looked like his picture, so I was like, oh no. So I sat down, and it was my turn to order, and so I was like, yes. Oh, sorry, that's how skinny people order. They're like, yes! I would like this one thing! And then fat people are like, yeah, I want this, and like everything that's touching it on the page. I was being skinny, so I was like, yes! I would like the roasted Brussels sprouts, please, and a side of broccoli. And then he got like a smoked beef ass or whatever, like a fucking normal person gets at Mama's. And the food came, and I got it all down. It was fine, lesson learned, and we were chatting, and that was going all right. So he was like, oh, we should go get a drink after this. And I was like, totally, let's go get a million drinks right now. And then I just sprinted out of the restaurant, and he caught up with me, and we went to a bar, and we were drinking and chatting. We just kept on drinking and drinking and drinking. And I don't know about you guys, but like, when I get drunk, I become perfect, I would say is the word. Just like, all of a sudden I look like Zoe Saldana, and like, everything I say is on point. And that happened. And I guess he was kind of impressed, so he was like, we should go back to my place after this. And I was like, we should totally go back to there! Or whatever, just drunk, sexy, flirty talk. And I followed him home. We went upstairs into his apartment and started like entertaining each other, as they say. Or they're gonna say that so soon. And everything was going fine. Except for, by that point, I was holding in easily 60 farts from my insane broccoli for dinner nightmare that I was just living in public with a stranger. And they weren't like little like whoopsies, I swallowed wrong farts or whatever everyone else gets. Like, they were like huge fucking veggie farts, just made of like pure steel. And they were all like queued up right here with so much info to share. And I was like, oh God, it was killing me. But I was trying to ignore them, but a lot of them were trying to like Jamiroquai their way out without me noticing. And I was like, no, 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 no! Just trying to act totally natural. We were like, did what we could, you know, like face and dick stuff. I don't want to like break his neck or whatever. And afterwards, we were laying there next to each other, and I was like, oh my God, you did it. You got away with your nightmare. And we were laying there just like spooning a little bit, kind of drifting off into slumberland. And as soon as my body relaxed, the tiniest bit, like I was still pretty much awake, but my body definitely relaxed, like all 60 farts just came out as one giant fart, and it was just like, like so loud that it woke us both up. We both knew exactly what had happened because the fucking sheets were on the ceiling. Like every window was broken. The doors were like, grrn, grrn, grrn. A fucking twister was passing. He just like stared at me, and I was like, did you say something? And he was like, still staring at me, so I was like, isn't it weird that we have to use our butts? You know? And he just like kept staring at me. He didn't answer. And then he just like kept not answering for months. I was like, what the fuck? Like, looking back, that's one of the smartest things I think I've ever said in my entire life. Because the answer is simple. Yes, it is weird that we have to use our butts. Can you imagine being a gay guy and your number one tool for romance is your butt? Like, butts are hilarious, full of surprises, always good for a laugh, but they're not like romantic. It's like, come and get it. But not right now! To sit on a hose, happy Valentine's Day. It's not romantic at all. And as a gay guy, like obviously all of my friends are girls, and they're always talking to me about their pussies. How they'll never believe, you'll never believe what happened on my date, you'll never believe this guy didn't know it did this, my pussy that, my pussy this. I'm like, I don't know why their gay friend is like their favorite audience member for Pussy Story Hour. Like, maybe they feel safe around me and they know I'm not gonna like reach out and like grab it while they're talking about it or whatever. And I know that's not how you grab one. I've seen a video and a half. But why me? Because obviously on the surface I'm gonna be like, oh, you poor thing, that's so complicated. I'm so sorry for you. Your pussy's so complicated. But obviously in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, well what if your pussy filled up with shit every day? Like mine does. That's fucking complicated. And no one wants to talk about it. And now that you're all picturing a pussy full of shit, I think it's safe to end the show. Good night, bye, I'm Gabe.